Oh, hello and welcome to the 5 day of Fundamentals of Weight Loss 5 day program. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jen. I created a program called the Me Project, and it's specifically targeted to people who feel lost and hopeless when it comes to losing weight. And why I created it, I've had my own journey with weight loss, I've had my own struggles, my own things. And I know what it's like to be sitting on the couch wanting something so different, but having no idea where to start, or signing up for something and having to change so much that after a couple days, when you make a mistake, it all falls apart and you just give up. And to be 100% honest, I was tired of giving up on myself. And I'm a triathlete. And I found so many people. It was like when I started dreaming about triathlon, it was like, oh, when I lose weight or when I get to 160 pounds, then I can go do this thing. Then I can go be a triathlete. Then I can go attempt a triathlon. But the reality was, I needed to start working towards it to get to that goal weight. So for me, it became about what do I need to do to become a triathlete? Like, who do I need to be? If my goal is to finish a triathlon, what steps do I need to take to get there? And I started that journey before I lost the weight. And what was really cool is I started to be happier. I started to have a goal. I started to work towards something that was bigger than me. And I ended up being able to complete a triathlon long before I hit my weight loss goal. In fact, I was like almost 30 pounds away from my weight loss goal before I hit it. But I found myself, and that's what was really important. And so I really wanted to offer this and create something to help other people that are struggling with their weight, struggling, feeling like their weight is holding them back from living the life that they want. And my program is a little bit different in that, not only are we going to focus on nutrition and exercise, but I'm not going to beat your body to death and I'm not going to put you on a restrictive diet to get to your goals. In fact, I do it through education. So we're going to take one piece at a time because we know that that's what works with people. When we try to change everything all at once, let's be honest, like it's too much. It's too much to remember. It's too much to do. You feel overwhelmed quickly. If you're like me, I have kids, I work, how do I manage it all? And the reality is we don't. And our brain can only handle so many things at a time. So when we try to change everything, we're actually self sabotaging ourselves right from the beginning. So I wanted to just give you that little taste of who I am, why I do what I do. I am a registered kinesiologist. I do have a certification in nutrition. I'm a fascial stretch therapist and also a clinical counselor. So I've kind of taken these pieces, put it together to create a program, but I used myself as the client because I was just like, well, what worked for me? What made that difference for me? How did I shift from where I was to where I wanted to go? And kind of put everything together and created something that's now helped hundreds of people lose thousands of pounds. So there's something to it. And I wanted to just give you that little bit of a taste. We're going to jump right in. So, the Me Project. Over the next few days, you may feel like you're drinking from a fire hose. Let's be honest. I will totally be honest about that. And I'm going to take you through some of the steps that we take over actually 12 weeks. But sometimes, it's like, am I ready? Am I not? Is this just another, crazy thing? I want you to start thinking about weight loss in a different way. So I want to take you right into the foundation of our program. And I'll tell you right off the bat, it's integrity. And you may be like, okay. And I ask many of our clients, what is your integrity like? What is your integrity like? Are you somebody with integrity? And sometimes people kind of hum and haw about it. And the definition of integrity is doing what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it. And if you're anything like me, I have phenomenal integrity. When I promise my partner that I'm going to do something, I follow through. When I agree to my boss that I'm going to do something, I follow through. When I tell my kids I'm going to do something, for the most part, I follow through. Sometimes I have mom brain and do forget, and they kind of laugh, Mom, but I'm really, really good at keeping my promises and having integrity with other people. But let me ask you, how is your integrity with yourself? When you make a commitment to yourself, are you good at following through? When you make a commitment or a promise to yourself, what happens? Are you good for a day, 3 days, 5 days? So that's really what I want you to start thinking about, because the key to any kind of transformation, the key to moving forward in any way, whether it's relationships, whether it's weight loss, whether it's work, whether it's money, is being able to have that integrity with yourself. So, I mean, we just finished New Year's here. I'm recording this in January, but how many times have you said, like, 2020, it's my year? And then what happened? We ended up in a global pandemic. And maybe for some of you, it was 2021. Like, I'm not working as much. I have time for me. And it didn't happen. And maybe you've set some New Year's resolutions this year and you're like, 2022, this is it. And I want this to be different for you, because when we start making declarations and not following through, we come to this point where we don't even believe in ourselves anymore. And then, it's our self-worth that really struggles. And for many of us, and I know myself, I went through this too, I didn't feel worthy. And I couldn't figure out why. It was because I kept setting these goals and saying, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to start on Monday. I'm going to, go to the gym 5 days a week, and I'm going to eat well. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then within a week or two, it all fall apart. And there's so many factors for that. But the reality is, I was not able to keep a commitment to myself. Yet, how many times have you said to your friend, hey, let's go for a walk? And if you commit to them, you show up, right? So it's, how do we make these steps to actually start showing up for ourselves? And that piece is massive, 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 massive. So this whole program, the Me Project, really comes down to this self-integrity piece and this commitment and these promises to ourselves. Because the better we get at them and the more we follow through, motivation starts to come. Commitment starts to come. You come to a point where you don't want to let yourself down. And no, you don't start like that. I didn't start like that. But you'd be surprised on how quickly it can start, and it can keep moving, and it can sort of, go into lasting transformation, a lasting word commitment, lasting promise commitment, and valuing yourself enough to say, I'm going to follow through and actually take care of me this time. So I really wanted to jump into that, because the foundation, everything I'm going to be talking about over the next few days, or if you ever work with us long term, gets back to that self-integrity. Are you doing what you said you're going to do? And, it's so different for everybody. And what I've really come to realize is it all really comes down to your vision. So I have so many people say, like, I need to lose weight. Okay, what's going on? Like, what is your vision for your weight loss? Well, I just want to lose 50 pounds. I want to lose 100 pounds. I want to lose 10 pounds, whatever that is. But why? And so it's going to be attached to this video. You're going to be able to download it. But I want you to do this exercise. It's called the 5 whys. And you're probably watching this because you want to lose weight. You've probably been attracted to this video somehow because of weight loss. But the reality is, transformation is so much deeper than that. And sometimes we really need to dig deep inside ourselves to kind of figure out why we're doing what we're doing and why we actually want it. So this gets kind of funny. And the deeper you can go with this, the more you're willing to face yourself, the better the results you're going to get. So I'm going to just do a quick walkthrough with you. The first question is, what do you want? So for 99% of the people I talk to, I want to lose weight. Great. Why do you want to lose weight? And for some of us, we stumble. Maybe it's, we want to be able to shop in a regular store, not a plus size store. Maybe, I just had a client that was like, I want to be able to get up and down off the floor and play with my grandchildren. Maybe it's, oh my gosh, I just had a brutal medical diagnosis and it's crucial that the weight start to come off. I don't want to end up on a bunch of medication. So various reasons, but dig deep, be willing to dig in. And if you get stuck with this, hit reply to the email that you got this on, because I'd be happy to help you work through this, because sometimes this can be the biggest breakthrough for people. So say, okay, I want to lose 50 pounds. Why do I want that? For me, because I want to do a triathlon. Well, why that reason? And you're going to be like, okay, you're asking this why question so much, but I want you to get deeper and deeper. So for me, why do I want to do a triathlon? Because I want to prove to myself that I can show up for me. And that may sound funny. I grew up playing team sports. And just like I said, when you make a commitment to someone else, we're really good at showing up. I wasn't good at showing up for me. So for me, why does that reason? I wanted to learn what it was like to show up for myself. I wanted to learn what it was like to follow through on something that I couldn't do flying out of the seat of my pants. couldn't finish a triathlon just showing up the day of. So for me, it was like finding that integrity of myself and seeing what I'm actually capable of. For you, it might be like, I said to my clients, getting up and down off the floor with my grandchildren. Why that reason? So I can enjoy life. So I can be around for them. I can be an active grandparent in their lives. And then I go deeper. Well, why does that matter? And so for me, it was getting really, really, brutally honest with myself of why does that matter? Because I really lacked showing up for myself in all areas of my life. I wasn't great when it came to me, and it became a self-worth issue for me. I didn't feel worthy showing up. I didn't feel worthy of taking the time to train for a triathlon. I didn't feel good enough to be able to say to my kids, hey, can you spend some time with your dad so that I can go do this? I didn't feel good enough in my relationship to say, I deserve this hour. It wasn't always a lot of time, but to actually pour into me. And so that for me was to actually identify my self-worth. For you, it might be, why do you want to lose weight? To be able to shop at a regular store. Why that reason? It might be the same, to feel good about yourself. Maybe to believe in yourself. Maybe to believe that you're sexy. Maybe to believe that you're capable. Maybe to believe that you're worth something. And why is that important? Will be the last question. Because when I really started to see my worth and realize how worth it I was able to put time into myself. I felt better. I felt stronger. I felt more physically capable. But for me, it became the more I gave to myself, the more I was able to show up in other areas of my life. I was able to be a better partner. I was able to be a better mom. I was able to be a better employee. I was able to launch a business. So you could see these trickle down pieces. So the more you're willing to jump in and get into the emotion, the stronger this is going to be. So I want you to try to walk through this. Like I said, if you have any trouble at all, please just hit reply. I'm happy to walk through this either via email. I'd even jump on a call with you. Because when we find out what really is dig deep that we've often buried, transformation can start to happen. So that's the 5 whys. I know it's a little bit of work, but trust me, if you take a few minutes, this could give you like exponential growth, exponential results, and really help you in your weight loss journey. So once you've kind of found that goal, then I'm going to give you another sheet also attached, and it's going to be your goal setting. We're going to take action on that goal. So I want you to work through this one a little bit too. So what is your goal? So you can either write that I want to lose 50 pounds, but I also like you to write down that why is that important? So for me, this might be at the time, I want to lose 50 pounds. Why? So that I can actually pour into myself and everyone around me, and I can find my self-worth. And that could be anything for you, whatever that is. Maybe it's, I want to find my self-worth, that I want to be off of all my medication. Maybe it's I've had a health scare. I need to lose 50 pounds, 75 pounds, whatever, because I have a threat of type 2 diabetes. And I don't want to end up like the rest of my family. And I want to see my daughter, who's maybe 5 years old right now, walk down the aisle at her wedding. Like, get real, be willing to touch on that emotion. So we're going to jump back in. Why do you want to accomplish this goal? Get real with yourself. And now we're going to start to take some action steps. So what 3 to 5 specific actions will you need to make this happen? So maybe your first action is watching this series of videos. Maybe your first action is actually doing this exercise. Maybe your first action is being honest and telling someone that you're struggling and saying, hey, I don't want to be where I'm at. I want to get somewhere else, but I don't even know where to go. Maybe your first step is getting out for a walk 3 times a week. Maybe your first step is trying to have 1 glass of water a day. So 3 to 5 specific actions, but I want you to get really specific because the brain and the ego struggle with specificity. So the more specific that we can make it, it's a yes or no. It's not a, well, I kind of did it, or I tried to do it. It's a yes or no. And when you can start seeing, yes, I said yes and I did it. I made a commitment and I followed through. Your self-worth and your dignity is really going to start to shift, and you're going to want to do different things. You're going to want to add a little bit more. You're going to want to try different things. You're going to start to see success. So the next question is, who will you need to make this happen? Maybe it's your spouse. Maybe it's a sibling, maybe it's a best friend, maybe it's a coworker. Reach out and really dig deep. Who do you need to connect with to make this happen? Maybe this is sharing your story. Maybe this is just like, hey, these are the things that I committed with. Can you help me keep accountable? And if you are really, really struggling and you don't know who to reach out to, please reach out to me. I'd be happy to help stand for you and help keep you accountable until you're ready to take that piece over yourself. I don't want anyone else there feeling like they don't have someone that they could come to. And then the last question on here, what habits will you need to adapt or change in order to achieve it? I'll be fully transparent with you. I am now training for an Ironman. It scares the pants off of me. Why? Because I still feel like there's days I struggle with my self-worth. And what if I can actually do it? I think I'm actually more afraid of what I can do than what I can't. And I don't like to share that with people. I don't like to share. I'd rather have excuses and find reasons why not to do it. But the reality is, I think I'm actually more scared of finishing it. And what does that mean? Than I am of not. So what had to change for me was my mindset around it. And what also had to change for me is I had to limit the days that I drink wine. And I know that that sounds kind of funny, but after a busy day, I love a glass of white wine. And I found over the holidays, I was having a glass of wine almost every night with dinner. And I was stuck and I couldn't figure out what was going on. And it was the alcohol. Am I an alcoholic? No, but I just got into a habit of enjoying it. And so what I needed to change or adapt was actually letting go of drinking wine during the week. That's not to say if there's not a birthday party or, I have family over that I might not do it, but I'm not doing it weekly. I'm not doing it every week, 5 or 6 days a week. It's something that's important to me to shift because my goal is more important than a glass of wine right now. And I do enjoy it on the weekends. I let myself have it. So it's not about cutting things out completely. It's mindfully, okay, where do I get to put this to help serve me to get to what really, really matters? And so this could be anything. This could be adding something. This could be being mindful of the time that you spend on something. This could be inviting a friend for a walk. This could be a million things. What do you need to change or adapt? I had someone the other day say, I actually need to just get some new running shoes. I haven't had new running shoes in like 5 years. That's fantastic. So it doesn't have to be crazy, but I want you to dig in and consider it. Okay. So that is your homework for day 1. We're jumping right in. So self-integrity, doing what you say, when you say you're going to do it, which is, it's hard for us. If you're not in the habit of doing it, this is really going to challenge you. And please, please, please take the time, invest in yourself to go through those 5 whys. I would love to understand deep, deep, deep what is going on and what is driving you. Because if your why isn't big enough, we're not going to get there. So if you need help, like I say, please reach out and then take the time to do this goal sheet. It doesn't have to be perfect, but the more you start to put on pen to paper and start making declarations and start showing up for yourself, the more chance it is that you're going to get to be able to take these steps forward and actually focus on your weight loss goal. So I can't wait to hear how this goes. Feel free to drop me a message and just let me know how it went if you want to. I'm always here for you, and we'll see you again on our video tomorrow.